Right, let's go on to the slides and the information you've gathered.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of interesting data points today that we saw in Europe. First of all, to France, and their trade balance came in at a negative 3.38 billion euros. That was around 0.28 of a billion, I should say, above the forecast of 3.10, and significantly above the prior read of minus 2.98 billion. So the woes of the French economy continue, but it's not the bad news anyway. It's not just confined to France. We had German industrial production numbers from September. We look at the month-on-month figure here, came in at minus 1.1%. The forecast had been for plus 0.5% against the prior minus 0.6%. And you'll recall that we had some poor German factory orders data.
So this is a bit of a falling off a cliff situation, isn't it?
It is really, and you had the European Commission forecast for economic growth for next year, talking about modest and continued growth in the Eurozone. Well, numbers like that would tend to tell a different story, so remains to be seen what will happen there. And then if we look forward to next week, relatively quiet as far as the US calendar is concerned, but Europe has a bit more meat on the bone, shall we say. We've got China's trade balance numbers being released on Sunday. That's the numbers for October. Obviously, people will be watching those closely because we saw a sharp drop, sort of north of 20% drop in exports last month. So, they'll be eyed keenly. Then, coming into the trading week proper, we have the British Retail Consortium retail sales numbers for the UK from October. They're released on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, we have French and Italian industrial output numbers. So again, that will shine some light on the underlying health of the industrial economy in Europe. A number that people watch quite closely comes out on Wednesday, China urban investment. This is one of the numbers that makes up many of the baskets of data that people use to try and make a judgment about what the real GDP growth is in China. So the quants will be studying that very closely. And then we come back to the UK for unemployment data for September. Obviously, Mr. Carney, who said to the press yesterday that they will prepare for a rate rise in 2016. We'll be watching that number closely. And then on Thursday, inflation data from Germany. We've got a whole raft of numbers there, and that will be very interesting indeed to see just how well the ECB is managing to stimulate inflation in the German market.
But tipping in the Eurozone towards almost dead certain action needs to be taken by the end of the year.
Oh, I think it's almost inevitable, yeah. They'll do something extra, yeah.